Hello, beautiful ones. Welcome to Light Unfiltered. This is going to be a vision, or rather, a demand from my soul just coming through. I was given this title, I was given the must do action energy about 2 weeks ago. And now here we are in a new weekly show that's going to be a intimate chit chat, just like I used to do inside of my membership, but to more people in more places because I was just told by the divine, by my highest self, by the oversoul of my business that this is what's got to happen. And I did not plan for this to begin this way fully in the on the very day that Neptune moved into Aries. But that is how it worked out. And I'm often divinely guided to do things. And then when the day comes, I'm like, oh, this is so perfect. I could not have planned it better on purpose. If we haven't actually met yet, I'm Casey. I am an evolutionary guide and spiritual teacher for lightworkers, healers, and people who are here to make the world a better place and usher in the evolution of consciousness that's happening on the planet right now. I love helping people through the transition that we are going through with more ease and divine support and connection, peace, pleasure, even because we need the light workers of this world to be unfuckwithable in their devotion and their faith with the work that they're doing, and so that they can show up for the planet. But it's also not supposed to only be sacrifice. There are things that we can do to support us in feeling better, even good, even while the world's burning and the old systems are crumbling. Like, there are so many practices, alchemical practices, divine magic that we can do to support ourselves in not getting pulled under by current events, not feeling crushed by the weight of the collective, and actually having the energy we need to do stuff in the world. So I'm really excited that we get to chat in this way in a weekly update. I'll be here. Currently, it's at 1 p.m. Mountain Time on Mondays. And of course, you can watch it on the replay. I will give you a little bit more perspective about what you can expect in this conversation. Hello, loves. And also, it gets to evolve. I have cultivated my divine channel to basically speak out whatever is wanting to flow through me. And sometimes it's things that I plan to talk about, and sometimes it's just what is up for the collective that's tuning in or will be later. But I am not going to shy away from speaking truth, my truth. I'm not going to shy away from talking about current events, even though sometimes people might be like, oh, let's not get political. Oh, it's going to harsh my vibe. We're going to be real because it's a shit show out there right now. And I want to address that instead of floating above it, because I could just hang out up here in the feeling of pure bliss. I know how to do that, and I have already done that in, my past. But I came here to this life to be both human and divine, and to have a good fucking time as we are supporting ourselves and the planet and each other through this crazy transition. Whether you're thinking this is the time of prophecy or apocalypse or the birth of the new world that we are co-creating, like, it's a rough one. It is not easy. So I want to talk about that and give energetic practices to you that actually help. This is the thing. It doesn't have to only hurt. It doesn't always have to only be so heavy. When we can clear and clean enough of the shit that's not even ours out of our energy field, and we can reconnect with the divine and actually bring that energy, the divine energy, from source, from the earth herself into our body, we will have more capacity because we are going to feel good. We're going to feel resourced. We're going to have more capacity to do the work that we're here to do in the world. And everybody's got a different role. Everybody's got a different part of the puzzle that they're here to solve. But what I'm really good at is divine magic, reconnecting people to the divine flow and helping them feel better and liberating them from the density that's stuck inside of them so that their light can shine. And then the cool part about that is once you do this work, the clearing, the cleaning, the reconnection, and the evolution from that energy of heaviness back into the energy of the unified field and feeling connected to the all that is and remembering our divinity, we can merge the divine and the human in a way that lets us be creators, co-creators with what's happening, not being like absolutely like just shit kicked by everything all of the time. I will probably swear on here because that is just how I roll. It's part of the brand right now. Inside of my offerings, you're going to find things like my upcoming 6-week psychic as fuck course. We have my membership abundant as fuck, and then my mastermind, which is called magical as fuck. Because right now, everything is so crazy. I think some carefully placed F bombs can add emphasis and just really highlight the absolute insanity in which we are living, but the fun that we can have inside of it too, right? When we are too stuck in the density, we don't have access to any of the magic. And that's what I want to bring through my evolutionary alchemy modality and the decades of teaching and working with groups and individuals. I have developed really potent magical practices and practical ones that actually help us feel more joy, more pleasure, more fun, lighter, so that we can do our soul work in the world, so that we can turn the pain that we've gone through into our purpose. And then if you are building a business, into profit and codes that you can share with the world, and it gets to be so much better than what the programming of most of humanity expects it to be right now. And I'm not going to talk to anybody here who doesn't already believe magic is real. We're not doing that. I don't have to convince you about that. If you're like, well, tell me, like, what is divine magic? Like, what do you like? Prove it. No, I'm not going to do that. But because I am a mystic, I'm about the embodied experiences. And we're not going to be doing as much of the embodied experiences where I can actually bring you into the energy to show you myself on this show. That's inside of the paid programming that I have. Come into my membership, come into my mastermind, come into my free workshops, even like the one I have happening on February 4th, where I will bring you through the process so you can feel it yourself and you don't have to take my word for it. But I have over the last year released that energy of needing to prove it or speak to anybody who isn't already feeling it. That's not my job. I'm here to help the helpers, the people who are already doing this soul work, the personal development, the mindset work, the identity work, the healing work, and the conscious creation work. So if you are here and you're still listening, it is just such a pleasure to be existing on this planet at the same time as you. We're part of the same team that is literally birthing a new world through us, through our hearts. The people that are in my world know that like nobody's coming to save us. We get to do this. We get to bring through the new paradigm through our consciousness and our embodied experience first. And we get to be the pioneers and the leaders before a lot of the other people on the planet are ready for it. But the really cool thing about right now is that unlike 25 years ago, when I was already aware of this stuff, like more people are available to it. It's not just relegated to like the weird little like woo-woo spiritual shops and the books and the small pockets and corners. Now this conversation is out front on the internet, in communities, the conversations that I've been seeing around the death of capitalism and the patriarchy and colonialism and the birth of a new world. Some might call a new earth, some might call it the new paradigm, the Hopi prophecy of the fifth world. This is all up and out there. People are absolutely clear, not all of them, but a lot of them are like, well, this isn't working anymore. Some things are going to have to shift, and we are in it now. And so I want to just have more conversations about how to be in this world as a light worker, as a healer, as a teacher who has access to these higher states of consciousness very easily. How do we navigate being in this world, actually doing the work that we're here to do in the world? Well, it feels like everything is falling apart. How can we maintain compassion for what everybody's going through, ourselves included, and the relentless visionary optimism of the people that can feel the future and know where we're headed? It's a dance, and it's an and also practice, and we're moving out of the binary, right? We're moving out of the it's this or this. We are understanding, we're evolving our consciousness to go like, actually, it can be multiple things at the same time. So, oh my goodness, it's complicated, it's nuanced. Like I said, it is a shit show out there, and that is actually reflecting the inner world of most of the people on this planet right now. So I love working with the energetics. I love working with the stuff that's going on inside of us to bring people literally inner peace and enlightenment so that we can be an example of the peace and stability that is required to see that in the outer world. So it's like inner energetics first, alignment, reconnection with the divine. This is what we require, the clearing and cleaning of all of the shit so that our divine light can shine. We can share it with the world. And then from that place, we don't just sit and like meditate. That is great. I love it. Like let's sit and meditate often together. But then we need to go out and be in the world and be of service and help. And again, we all have our own piece of the puzzle. So some people right now are protesting on the front lines. Some people don't have a choice because they are dropped into a zone like Minneapolis, or Iran, or places that are literal war zones right now. If you are like me though, and you've got the privilege to not be in a place where there is so much active chaos, then we can wonder, like what it is that we are supposed to do. And I can't tell you what you need to do, but I can guide people through the process of the getting the energetic clarity that you need so that your soul can tell you, your heart and your body can tell you. And that's my piece of the magic. That's my piece of the puzzle. I can help you create energetic clarity in your field so that you know what's right and true for you. So we're going to talk more about that today. Energetic discernment. And in this age of absolute insane AI, misinformation, like he said, she said, biased media, and polarization. Let's get really real for a second. Your truth has to come from your body, mind, heart, soul being in coherence. Otherwise, you will never figure it out. If you have inner conflict, if you are out of coherence, if everything, like your mind is over here, your body's here, your heart's here, and your soul's over here, and everything's out of alignment, you're going to be confused and you're going to have zero clarity. And that makes everything fucking scary, terrifying, really. Like, because we're like, I don't know what to do. And we spin. And I know that sucks. I've been there a million times. I also sometimes fall back there because none of the practices that I teach get you into coherence that is like permanent for life on earth. But I have really potent practices that I do teach and share very liberally. And I will be sharing for free in the workshop on February 4th. So sign up for Divine Clarity if you haven't already. I share the energetic practices and tools as much as I can because that is what we require. That's like the baseline that we need, is that clarity and coherence in our field so we can talk to our bodies, our hearts, our souls, our minds, our team without that feeling of like overwhelm. clarity is essential for discernment, right? To know what to do, to know what next step to take, which is why the inner energetics and the energy work has to come first. If you don't have a regular energy practice right now, because this is light unfiltered. I'm gonna be so fucking for real with you. You're gonna have a really bad time. You're gonna exist in a lack of clarity. You're gonna exist in this spinny state of not knowing which way is up, not knowing what's yours, not knowing whose thoughts these are. The collective frequency and energy is going to be buffeting you, and you're gonna have a really hard time getting things done because there is so much going on energetically right now. We have to consistently, on a daily fucking basis, be anchoring into the earth and connecting with our true north, our highest self, with source itself, and letting that energy move through us and cleaning and clearing all the stuff that's not us. If you are not doing that on a daily fucking basis, you are going to, if it's not right away, over time, you're going to get hooked into things that aren't actually yours to do. They're not right in front of you. They might not even belong to you. That's just some shit that some other person or institution is telling you. You are more susceptible to the media manipulation. You're more susceptible to propaganda. So when I say, like, we need to do this, I don't mean to like shit on you and be like, you should be doing this. I'm saying it's a requirement if you want to have clarity in your field so that you're not going to be freaking out, spinning, lost in the sauce of whatever is happening right now. And I really want that for all of us, especially the light workers and the leaders and the healers who are required right now to be on duty. And I'm not saying all the time, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying don't rest and work yourself to the bone. That's not the vibe. But we are required to be showing up in our light right now. That's why you fucking came to this planet, right? Right? This is why you are here. That's why we're here right now, to be the light, the divine light that we already are, and to just shine it and share it into the world, connected to source and our soul and ourselves and our soul truth, and then just operating, creating, helping from that place of divine embodiment. If we're doing anything else, we're going to start getting slapped around by destiny, the fate, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Life is going to start to fuck up people that are out of alignment really hard and really fast. It's going to be crazy. This next passage, like I'm talking years, is going to be crazy. And we were born for this. So I know you know that there's a lot of shit going down in the world. Every freaking morning and before I go to sleep at night, I am thinking and sending love to Iran, to the United States, to, my home country of Canada, to Ukraine, sorry, not the Ukraine. What an old bad habit that sometimes still pops up, because those old neural pathways don't actually ever go away, but we build new ones. And so sometimes the past like slips in to the present moment. What matters is that you notice and then you choose the new path. So I'm blanketing the earth in a golden light every day, every night, every time I think of it, because that is the earth that I want to exist in. And I am part of like co-creating it. But if I never did anything else with my life, I'm going to be real. Like this is not enough right now. We're all going to be called to much greater levels of service if we haven't already. And your piece of service, your piece of the puzzle might be boots on the ground at a protest. It might be feeding protesters. It might be nothing to do with protesting at all, right? Like that's not the only way change is affected. It might be mutual aid. It might be through your business and unlocking spiritual gifts for people. Or it might be as a nurse. It might be as a parent, breaking generational curses. I will never tell anybody what they need to be doing in terms of what's right for their soul purpose and their soul path and their soul mission, but I can help you get through the tools that I know, the divine fucking clarity that you need for that to be loud and clear. And then things just appear like magic. The next right step comes up. A lot of us are too chicken shit to act on that next right step that we know is right for us, though, and that's going to block us. So, inside the next 6 week course that I'm doing, we are going to talk about taking the next right step. Otherwise, nothing else is going to happen. Your intuition is not going to expand. You're not going to get more information. Not going to go into that so deeply right now, but this is my invitation to you right now. Is there something that you know you should be doing and you're not doing it yet? Sometimes you need to get ready. Sometimes you need to actually take the time to prep, to do some research. Maybe there's a divine alignment or passage. Like I knew that I wanted to launch the show right away after a couple weeks ago. I had the vision drop in and it was like, don't wait. But I didn't start full out. I did a preview last week inside of my Facebook group. And that felt great because I was like, okay, I'm not quite ready. A couple pieces are not quite ready. Then today was the day where it all got to come and be launched. Is it perfect? I don't have the branding for Light Unfiltered yet. That's okay. Am I totally ready to go? No, but I'll figure it out along the way. And can I say that is very Aries and Neptune energy? And that's what we entered into today. This is one of the outer planets that works with the imagination, the dreams of the collective unconscious, and all of these things. And we just moved from Pisces into Aries. And so there's going to be a lot of new energy coming in. We have, I can't remember off the top of my head if it's Saturn or Uranus that's moving into Aries in just like a week or so. We also have the year of the fire horse starting in our Chinese astrology very soon, about February 17th. And so we're moving into a really interesting phase where new stuff is going to be happening and the energy of forward momentum is going to come and the train is going to start moving whether you're all the way inside it or not. We are going to start having everything speed up. Everything is going to be happening more quickly. So if you are out of alignment and you don't have clarity, and if you're facing away, like from your soul truths, from your soul purpose, from what's right for you, if you're facing away from that, even if you are like 1 or 2 degrees off of it instead of aligned with source and your soul truth, if you are just 1/2 a degree off and things move really fast, you're still going to be taken off of course really quickly. So there has never been a more important time ever in your lifetime, and maybe ever in the history of the planet, to be so fucking aligned with your soul truth. If you do not have energetic discernment, that's what you need to get right away. If you are hanging out in confusion, you're going to have a really bad time. You need to learn the energetic tools to create clarity in your field. If you do not know how to get the answer to what is my next right step, then you need to know how to do that, or you are going to have a really hard time and you're going to spin off in directions that are not for you. And that, of course, is going to crash and burn. And I'm not saying this to incite any fear. This is just a truth and it's happening. And maybe this is the first time we've ever chatted, but if you've been in my world for any length of time, a couple years ago, I started saying you need to become unfuckwithable because of what is coming. And we're here now. And if you're like, I'm not unfuckwithable, that's okay. Don't take it literally. It is a practice. It's a daily practice of realigning to your soul truth and to getting the divine support that you need to feel like everything is going to be okay. I feel like I don't talk about that enough. I don't talk enough about how we feel, right? Because it's just one of the pieces. I love talking about identity work and mindset work. I'm a belief repatterning practitioner. I can help you rewire your reality, your neural pathways, the beliefs that you have. I can support you with the nervous system in small ways, though I'm not a full somatic practitioner because of the divine magic and alchemy that I teach works to restore your connection with the earth. And she can help with the nervous system pieces. And I help with soul voice and building businesses and all of these things. But something was coming through over the last day or 2 for me, and it's like, maybe I should mention that I will help you feel better and feeling more like yourself, feeling clearer, feeling like you fucking got this even when you don't know how. Like, all of these pieces are really important when it comes down to it because let's be really real. If we don't feel good, if we feel bad, if we feel heavy, if we feel stuck, if we feel like we can't, which is, of course, tied into all of the beliefs that are creating the stories around the feelings and reinforcing them. If we feel like shit, we're not very effective. And I was gifted with this whole evolutionary codex to bring forward to humanity the pieces of the puzzle that I have, which is like how to actually, while the world is burning and dissolving and rebirthing a new one, to feel joy and peace and pleasure and fun and connected and supported and resourced and blissful. Literally, enlightenment is not that hard for the people like you who've been working towards it in lifetimes. It's literally the lightening up of your energetic field so that you remember who the fuck you are and what you came here to do in the full somatic experience of that. And in that state, you have access to your magic. You have access to your power. You have access to all the potential because you can access the quantum field. You can access beyond what the human mind can comprehend. It's the realms that are archetypal. The imagination of the divine is always going to be more, I don't know, expansive than what our limited human mind can conceptualize of. So I want you to have access to all of that, but not let it just hang out there. I want to help you bring it down to earth so that you can live from that place and create from that place and do the things that you came here to do. Oh my goodness, isn't that cute? This little hanger for this sweater keeps coming out. It's like, I don't want to hide underneath here. Oh, that's amazing. So, my loves, like, this is not an easy path that you are walking as a light worker, as someone who is here to support humanity right now through your own divine embodiment, through your own soul light. It's not an easy path at all, but it feels a hell of a lot better than not doing it, right? If we're still chatting, you're on the mastery path. You picked a really fucking hard one, but it's because you were ready. It's because you have been training for this for lifetimes. So that's why your life has been really hard. You front loaded a shit ton of the learning, of the trauma, of the things you'd have to overcome. So you would have all those codes to teach, to share with the world. Even the very fact that you have overcome it gives other people permission to believe that that's possible. This is what a light worker, healer, teacher, new earth leader, priestess, whatever, earth angel, I don't know. There's a million different things that we can call ourselves. Like, I'd rather speak light language sometimes than trying to put all of this into human language, right? And maybe I'll share a light language transmission for you because that actually would feel really fun today in Light Unfiltered, my light language, sharing with you without censoring myself like I sometimes do. All of those codes inside of you come from the shit that you've turned into gold. You are an alchemist if you're here right now listening to this. And the alchemy that you have done has probably mostly been unconscious. I think when we make the process conscious and we're aware of how to do that, it becomes more enjoyable. You can actually even get into a state where something can happen, something that you would not prefer, something bad, let's just call it from the human perspective. You'd be like, oh shit, no, damn it. I don't want this. You can still be in the energy, not of having to wait for the future and having hindsight and going, you know what? Actually, that turned out to be a really good thing because it sent me in this direction and extracting all the wisdom and the lessons. I know you can do that already. I know you can look back at your life and you can look at things that happened, like breaking up with your first boyfriend or whatever, or girlfriend or person, and go, wow, I'm so grateful that happened because it sent me where I needed to go. People can do that for injuries. People can do that for all kinds of rejections and redirections, right? From hindsight. But when you consciously understand and work with these alchemical practices and principles, and you have access to the higher mind as well as your human mind, something can be happening right here, right now, and it doesn't pull you under because you can be like, ooh, I know this sucks. And we can admit that without spiritually bypassing it. But you're like, I'm curious as to how this is going to be shifting things for me. How can I turn this shit into gold? What kind of alchemy is going to come from this? That operating system of being so ready to extract the wisdom from the pain, from the shit that we don't want to experience, is what gives you the fucking rocket fuel for your soul's evolution and expansion and magic. That is what helps you liberate yourself from suffering, first off. I mean, I hate watching people suffer. And also, I have so many tools to literally alleviate suffering because, as the Buddhists say, pain is not optional, suffering is, right? Suffering is the identification with the pain. And when we play in these realms of consciousness with the identity work, with um, the alchemy, we don't have to identify with the pain so much that it actually creates suffering because we have access to the higher mind and how it's happening for us and all of the divine support that is normally missing from human experience. The void inside of people that people are often trying to fill with, like sex, drugs, rock and roll, with addiction, with gambling, with unsavory behaviors, that is a fucking trauma response to separation from the divine when it gets down to it. That feeling like we are incomplete is because we feel separate from the all that is, from the divine, from God source, the universe, from each other, from the earth, from all parts of ourselves. So the solution to the problems that we encounter is reconnection to all of that. And that is what I ultimately teach. That is the divine magic. That's the luminous evolution. That is the process of enlightenment. And when we do that and we reconnect, then we suddenly have access to the wholeness that we were meant to operate from. And the rest of it comes so much more easily. Sure, there's identity up levels. Sure, there's beliefs we need to repattern. But when you start with that divine reconnection and then do the divine clarity piece, oh my gosh, life becomes easier. Suffering is no longer your experience. And then from that place, you have your power back. And then we can see how good it gets. When you have that divine reconnection to your body, first off, so many people are walking around disassociated from their body because of how much pain they're in emotionally or physically. When we can be reconnected to our body, we unlock massive amounts of wisdom. Holy shit. Like massive amounts of wisdom, first off, because our bodies, yes, they're like children. Yes, they're like temples. They're also like multidimensional storehouses of both ancestral and Akashic information and divinity itself. It is made up of photonic light and the all that is. There's a lot of magic when we bring our bodies with us and when we work with our bodies and we can channel our bodies. We can tap into that. We can have so much more discernment when we are not disassociated from our bodies. Because as I'm going to teach inside of the divine clarity call and in psychic AF, we need our bodies as truth barometers. And in this next age, or the age we're currently in, again, of AI, media, double truths, where facts don't always matter and they can be falsified so easily, you need your body to be able to give you the discernment that you require to navigate in this world. And it gets to be really easy, but you have to do the clarifying pieces first and you have to be reconnected to the divine. A lot of people are doing this shit out of order. A lot of people are trying to like channel in higher truths and talk with the cosmic mind and God, blah, 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 before they have the body and heart and soul in line. Like spiritual psychosis, burning out, getting attacked by entities and plugging into false light grids. All of this shit happens when people do spiritual evolution out of order. There is a proper sequence to it. And I do know the proper sequence. So when I'm guiding clients and students, we work at the starting point first, and then we make sure that we have the foundation, and then we go to the higher realms. And even the prep the field process that I use and teach before guiding people into soul communication and meditations brings us through enough of that first bits of making sure that we're ticking the right boxes in the right order, that it's not subject to the same kind of distortion. This is me finally speaking about this shit in a way that is public because I have kept it behind the scenes for way too long. So I'm super excited to have more of these conversations about the sequencing, about the alchemy, about the embodied divinity, about being human and divine, right? About not leaving ourselves and our bodies behind. Let's make sure that we stay connected. Okay. I will be showing up here at least once a week. For right now, like I said, on Mondays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Tap in on the replay if you can't make it live. Connect with me like all over the internet. And if you're resonating with the kind of words I'm speaking, I mean, we're just going to be yapping on these calls, and I'll be telling you about tools. Come into my world, whether it's at the membership, mentorship, or mastermind level, if you want to actually experience them. Like, I have so much that I can show you that is beyond what yapping on a call can be. I am ready and available and have been training for lifetimes as well as decades in this life to be of service to the Lightworkers right now. And it took me a very long time to accept that this was my lot, that this was my role. I just wanted to be a happy hula hoop teacher and performer forever. If you haven't heard my story, that was the business that I operated before COVID. It's called Dancing into Being, Movement Arts and Healing. And it was amazing. But this is what I have to be doing. This is what I am to be doing for the world right now, because if I don't share the magic that's inside me, the truth that I have, the evolutionary codex that came with me that I can reveal to the world, as well as all of the things that I have studied and practiced and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my education and training to be able and ready to share with you. If I don't share that, I am a selfish asshole. And if you are hiding your light, if you are filtering your light and your power and your truth out of fear or beliefs that you can't, which is all still coming from fear, I get it. I've been there. But you're being a selfish asshole too. And we don't have time for that right now. We don't have time for that right now. It is time for us to fucking liberate the light that's inside of us and let it shine. Let it inspire people. We're not here to do it for them. We are here to show people what is possible and to then take whatever actions we are here to take. And again, if you don't have the clarity to know what those actions are, if you are feeling like your soul is not communicating with you about the next thing to do, you need to be inside the Divine Clarity workshop that is free, where I'm going to be showing you how you can get that kind of information. Easy peasy. It doesn't have to be hard. Most of us are making it way too hard. That is one of my main complaints of the old spiritual paradigm stuff. And I mean, the thing is, the paradigm has changed, the energy has changed, new tools are available that we didn't have access to before, but it is no longer as hard as it used to be to access enlightenment because of the speed at which we are operating, because of the frequency the planet has elevated to, right? There is so much more available to you than has ever been available to any human before, from the information at our fingertips to spiritual practices and teachers and all of this stuff, divine support. It is all here for you. And the question is, what are you going to do? If you don't fucking know, that's when we go to divine clarity and we make sure we have that before we go further, before we get into the year of the fire horse, before you fuck it all up and hurt yourself by going in the wrong direction, wasting time, wasting money, just sabotaging yourself and your self-belief and your confidence, because sometimes we do get battered, right? If you don't operate like me from the silver linings operating system, that is my superpower, where you're like, oh, this mistake, cool, that was just, information, evidence that's helping me become the version of me that I need to do, or to be, to do the things that I need to do. If you don't have that locked into your system, then I know making mistakes can absolutely shatter your confidence. For me, it's the way that I was designed to learn. So, but I've also lived the shadow side of that, where I was like, oh shit, I can't do it naturally, so therefore it's not for me. We have so many natural gifts and we are here to use those, but we also need to study and practice. This is the thing. We need to study and practice. We need to put in the work. This is also why I have spent my entire fortune, my entire life savings over the last couple decades on my own personal energetics and education and mentorship and community. And I've put in the tens of thousands of hours of study and practice in all of the ways that I needed to be able to do this soul work in the world. Because if you don't practice it, it's just a nice thought that you have. It's just some knowledge that lives up here. You'll never actually get good at stuff unless you put in the time and the work. And so this is another reason I want to invite you closer into my world, into the Divine Clarity workshop, and like further into psychic as fuck, or abundant as fuck, or magical as fuck, or mentorship with me, because I know I didn't get good at stuff until I had mentors who were supporting me in going faster, learning from their mistakes, and also actually focusing on it. So if we're left to our own devices, we're usually pretty lazy. We'll talk more about this, I think, on another day. But like, I know I would not have been a national level trampoline gymnast if I had not had a coach kicking my butt into practicing. Left on my own, I would have been a great backyard trampolinist doing some cool tricks. We need mentors. We need community. We need people going, let's practice now. Let's put in the work, conditioning, working out, doing the drills as well as the big routines. I also got really good at hula hooping alone in my backyard, and my really good, it was like, yeah, like I learned how to do it. But when I got masterful, I was studying with masters. I was putting in the practice, the work, spending my time and my money and my energy on learning how to get better. And so I feel like some of that has been lost over the last few years. People really have gotten into this, like, we want it instantly and we're not willing to work for the mastery that we crave and we want, and we feel bad that we don't already have. So I just want to remind you that all of this shit, the being incredibly discerning and having a clear energetic field, that takes practice. The being able to talk to your soul, talk to your heart, and get without a shadow of a doubt, that level of clarity, that takes practice. And also having the knowledge behind it to understand why it's not working and when, and then what you can do about it. I mean, you could probably figure all this out on your own, but like, why would you? Why would you? You don't study with me, but if you don't have access to this level of divine fucking clarity, so you know your next right step no matter what, and if you don't know it, you know what you need to do to get it, then like, what are you waiting for? I can't force you to learn these tools, but I can really strongly recommend them and tell you that then the next decade is gonna really fucking suck if you don't have that. It's like baseline requirement here. And if you're like, I already have that, no big deal, amazing. I am so, so excited for you. And also just check in and be like, is there something beginner's mind that I might be able to pick up and learn from coming to divine clarity? Maybe that's something like I could get some new tools, I could get new ways of explaining it, I might get something for me. So this divine clarity workshop, I'm inviting you to for free. It's happening February 4th at a particular time. I don't know. Was it 11? Was it 1? Something. MST. There's a registration in the comments. And there's going to be stuff for people who are on the mastery path, because that's all of you, but people who have already mastered a level of psychic attunement and divine clarity, and people that are still learning, right? Everybody is welcome. If you feel this like, you know what, I think I actually might need to be reminded at how powerful I am and how easy it can be and get into that energy, join me. It's going to be so much fun. We have so much fun in my world. I can't even describe it. As someone who literally was a professional hula hooper, which seemed like the best fucking job on the planet. I also had like, part of my artist in residency was doing like baby raves for kids at elementary schools and daycares and summer camps, and like bringing lights and having them dance around and like playing games so they would unlock their most like amazing moves and stuff like that and feel liberated in their bodies and their hearts to fully be expressed. I thought that was the coolest job ever. But this stuff is like even better because of the access to the infinite that we have, to literal bliss, to like orgasmic, soulgasmic energies that make the rest of life's problems seem not as big. My God, it is so much fun. So I want that for everyone, but it's not for everyone. It's for people who specifically are here as the Lightworkers, teachers, and new earth leaders, new paradigm leaders, people who are interested in divine magic to make the world a better place. So if that is you, like, let's fucking go. Let's play. Let's have so much fun together. I do have spots available right now in private mentorship, in the mastermind, in my membership. Like, let's see what is possible. So I am feeling like I should just let you know I am someone who answers all of my DMs currently myself. Please message me, reach out if you know that there is more for you that you would like to be supported with in this journey, in unfiltering your own light so you can be the most unfuckwithable, shiny, divine, bright light that's here to make the world a better place and usher in this new paradigm. Like, let's fucking go. Let's have so much more fun with it and enjoy the birth of the new world as the old one is burning. We're going to have a wake, we'll have a party, we'll have the fun. Birth and death are two sides of the same coin, destruction and creation. It is and always has been interwoven into this infinity experience. But as we're looking at the revolutionary energy that's up right now, especially with Aries in Neptune and all the other Aries and fire horse energy that's coming in, let us think not just of revolution, not just of the turning of a cycle, but of evolution where the cycle spirals up from new areas of consciousness, from new perspectives, from new embodied wisdom, right? We're going to be learning and growing as we go. Might as well have some fucking fun with it. Oh my goodness. If you are having a hard time right now, my heart is with you. If you are feeling crushed by the collective energy right now, my heart is with you. If you are feeling this spark and fire and desire to do something about it, my heart is with you, and let's fucking go, right? We were born for this time where we go from the old paradigm of separation, where so many people are walking wounded from that source disconnection trauma that happens on earth. And we go from that energy of fear and separation and isolation and not enough and scarcity and survival into the unity consciousness field, into the frequency of abundance, into the access to the divine all that is, that feels so much fucking better. Like we are literally bridging and weaving the two worlds together right now. So as they've become one and the frequency has been rising on this planet, that is what is lighting up all the shit. So the shit's on fire. And oh my God, it's crazy. And I knew it was going to be. I knew 20 years ago it was going to be. Like as a kid, I was shown a lot of this shit. Before I came here, I was shown a lot of the potentials and possibilities. And now that I'm in it, like, it's not surprising, but sometimes it is. And I'm like, oh my God, popcorn, like, holy shit, what are we doing? This is crazy. And also the perspective of being able to be in the human and not spiritually bypass the feelings, but fucking feeling them when we need to feel them, but also not living there and hanging out on them and not having the mind chatter that tells the stories over and over again. So we ruminate and spin down into feeling so stuck and helpless and fearful and in the separation programming that we are, they want us in. When we have access to the divine energies and all the possibility, we can hold both perspectives of the human and the divine at the same time. We are free, we are liberated, and then we can do our soul work in the world. And that might look like making fuck tons of money and having a lot of fun and impacting a hell of a lot of people on the way. I mean, wouldn't that be amazing? Ultimately, here on Earth, money is not going to be a thing the same way. We are not going to be struggling like we are, but we have a ways to go before any of that arrives. And nobody is coming to do it. It's coming through us. So, like, I want to help. I want to help us be prepared. I'm also available for any questions that come up. By the way, I do love answering questions. So let me know whether you're live or on the replay. If you have questions, if you have comments, please make sure you do sign up for the Divine Clarity Masterclass. You can join me in there on February 4th. There will be a replay. It is basically module 1, or the prereq work for psychic as fuck, which is the prerequisite work to all of the ascended, embodied divine magic that I love to take people into. Like, this is the first step. If we don't have this locked down with the divine clarity and the reconnection to source energy in a like anytime we want it kind of way, is really hard to access the higher realms where I take my like mastermind and private clients on journeys throughout the cosmos, throughout the inner realms. We have so much fun. We sit sometimes in like bliss, just like, and it's so good. But you can't start there, right? You can't start there. So let me give you the foundation that will give you the tools for accessing that level of enlightenment and magic that will give you the inner resources to do whatever it is that you need to do here in the world. I want you to know without a shadow of a doubt that you are so divinely supported, you are so capable, and if you're not capable yet, you can grow into the person who is capable, because that's what we are here to do, and it doesn't all get handed to you. We like have to struggle some to learn how to do it. That's what your whole life has been so far, and now it's time to start reaping the fucking rewards from that. So this has been Light Unfiltered. I'm Casey. I love you. I'm so grateful that we had this time together. Thank you for being here now, not like here on the live stream, here on Earth right now. It's just getting good. This is like one of the climactic. We're starting to get to the climax of the movie, the really exciting parts. Those are scary too, but it's thrilling. And it's going to be a story worth telling. And I can't wait until we're 10 years from now and we look back and we say, what a fucking ride. Sending you all my love.